What's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and we are back with another fight breakdown. Tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning on ESPN Plus, all right, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. I will be covering the fight live, but I won't be up at 5:30 a.m. So I'll probably get on maybe around 7 o'clock in the morning before the main fight, this fight here. They're saying 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Eastern. That's the time they're giving us, but I will make sure I jump on early enough so I'll be able to cover the fight, or at least the fight before this fight here. All right, but it's going to be on ESPN Plus. So if you're up, depending on where you at, if you're up and you're getting ready for work and you need something to listen to, I will be covering the fight early tomorrow morning. All right, so look, this fight is from the 2019 Fight of the Year, at least Fight of the Year for me. Inoue defeated Nonito Donaire, all right? Unanimous decision. Was able to drop him in a fight, but it was a great fight. Donaire was able to hurt Inoue a couple times in that fight, cut him bad. And, you know, Inoue was able to drop Donaire with a body shot, okay? The first fight was a unification match between the two belt unification match. And this fight here is going to be 3 belts on the line at bantamweight, 118. If you don't know, it's going to be at the weight is 118. And the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF titles is going to be on the line for this fight. The WBO is currently vacant because John Rio Casimiro, the former champion, failed to defend the titles on 2 separate occasions or something like that. So the WBO just stripped them. So it's a vacant title at this point, all right? Donaire, the old man, the old legend, Donaire, he's 39 years old, all right? He's 39 years old. He's 5'7", got about 68 reach, all right? Small reach advantage over Inoue. 42 wins, 28 knockouts, 6 losses. And then you got Inoue, who's a little shorter, 5'5.5", all right? What is it, 67-inch reach, okay? 29 years old, so he got a huge youth advantage. And he's 22 wins, 19 knockouts, and 0 losses, okay? Both really decorated fighters. Donaire, 4 division, not 4-time. I think he's been champion more than that, but 4 division champion, okay? I believe he's been a champion at flyweight, I know flyweight, I think super flyweight, bantamweight. I think he was a champion at super bantamweight as well, which is 122. He might have been, I might be wrong. He's a 4 or 5-time champion because I believe he was a champion as well at 126 when he went up, had one fight. Then he had a fight with Nicholas Walters where he lost. And after that loss, he went back down to 122 and then came back down again to 118. At this point in his career, he's a big 118 fighter, all right? Especially because he packs a punch. You know, even a fight against Nicholas Walters where he was stopped, he was able to hurt the bigger Walters in that fight. So he could really, you know, punch. He could really crack, you know. And you saw that in the first Inoue fight. No one has really ever hurt Inoue like the way Donaire did, okay? But well decorated. Again, Inoue was a champion at, I believe, light flyweight and super flyweight, okay? So he's a 3-division champion, all right? But much longer, was able to accomplish a lot. And, you know, for this rematch, so normally what I do, let's go into the breakdown now. Normally what I do is when there's a rematch and I'm familiar with the 2 fighters, I usually just go back and watch the first fight, which is what I did. All right, I watched the first fight, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen it a few times before. And now I'm looking for something that Donaire can do to win this time around. Because for the most part, even though it was a very competitive fight, for the most part, Inoue won the fight pretty clear. So what can a 39-year-old Inoue do this time around? And I know he looked great in his last couple of fights too, and he did pick up a title. But what can he do to beat Inoue? How can he defeat Inoue at this point? And if he is to defeat Inoue, I believe that this will be his greatest win, you know, as far as his career. I mean, he's fought plenty of really good fighters. You know, he's lost to some undefeated fighters and stuff. But this would be his biggest win. And this would be a great way to go out and retire. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, if he is to win this fight, this will be the best win on his resume. So what can we do? Well, I started with the first round, and as I'm watching the first round, I noticed that there's a big difference in the way that they use their jab, right? Inoue uses a jab all of the time. Donaire doesn't. Donaire usually uses a jab as a blinder, as a way to settle the right hand. He's not really using the jab like the way Inoue do it. Inoue is using his jab. He's changing the variations of the jab. You know, he's probing a lot and he's moving a lot more, you know, where Donaire is the one that's coming forward, all right? He's the one that's leading, constantly leading, because the thing with Donaire, as good of a fighter as he is, he's a very technical fighter. He hits hard. He's very fast. He is so eager to get the KO, you know, and I think when you fight certain fighters, I think when you fight like guys like Inoue, who wants to get the knockout himself because he's a KO artist as well, I think sometimes you don't always have to lead because Inoue is going to come at you. So if you choose not to lead and go forward, fight on your back foot, which you could set the traps up, you know, and it made me pause that fight and say, all right, you know what? Nicholas Walters, I've seen this fight plenty of times. I love this fight. Let me go watch the Walters fight. So I'm watching the Walters fight because I picked that fight specifically because that was a fight that Donaire fought on his back foot. You know, Donaire coming forward, yeah, at points of the fight, he's coming forward against the bigger Walters. You know what I'm saying? But in that fight there, I saw Donaire actually set traps and land some really good counters against Walter, who also had a jab advantage. Everybody had a jab advantage. Guillermo Rigo had a jab advantage over Donaire. Inoue had a jab advantage. Nicholas Walters had a jab advantage. You know, all of these guys use their jab, and Donaire doesn't really use it like that. And I think, you know, I'm not expecting Donaire to come out here and do what Devin Haney did to Kambosos the other night. You know what I'm saying? Just go into a straight jab fest. No. But what I expect is, well, at least what I hope for Donaire, if he is going to switch it up somewhat, to not lead as much and try to pressure, because when he's coming forward, he is easier to hit. You know what I'm saying? So I think for Donaire, in order to switch things up, to shake things up a little bit, fight on your back foot. Let Inoue come to you. I know Inoue is going to pop that jab. Look to slip and counter the jab. You know what I'm saying? Go to the body a little bit more. Keep that left hook in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? We know that's your punch. That's your money punch. That's your favorite shot. We know that that's the shot. Instead of just leading with the left hook, and Inoue did a great job at defending the left hook, because he always kept that right hand up, you know, even in the middle of the exchanges. He did a good job with that. Keep it in your back pocket, all right? Counter to the body a little bit more with that left hook, all right? When you slip, counter to the body a little bit more. Same thing with the overhand right. Counter a little bit more to the body. Don't always go up top, because I know Inoue started catching a lot of right hands in the later half of the fight, but earlier on, Inoue did a good job in slipping and countering that overhand right that Donaire was, you know, the right-hand counter that Donaire was throwing a lot. So I think for Donaire, I think he just needs to fight on the back foot a little bit more and set a little bit more traps. You know what I'm saying? Try to counter during the exchanges. Stop coming forward, just looking to counter. It's not going to work that way with the right crosses. He did have success with it. But in this fight here, I think in order, being that you're the older guy, you're probably not going to outthrow the younger 29-year-old Inoue, okay? Especially because of the jab, all right? But what you want to do is fight on the back foot, look to set traps, try to catch Inoue in between the exchanges, the combinations, and then try to ambush them, you know, and then, you know, counter with a right hand, counter with a left hook, and then throw, you know, a 3-4 piece. That's how you got to get him out of here. At least in this, I mean, at least do better, you know, because he did a great job in the first fight, but it wasn't enough. He's shown us that he can hurt Inoue, but he wasn't able to put him down or put him out. You know what I'm saying? So I think with Donaire, fight on the back foot a little bit more. Just wait. I mean, you're going to have to deal with the jab. The jab's not going anywhere, And that's what Inoue is not much he needs to change. I just think he dropped him with a body shot. I think with the body shot, I think he just need to go to the body a little bit more, counter more to the body. We already know that Donaire had a lot of success with the right cross counter, right? So what you're going to do is you want to slip it, shoot that left hook to the body a little bit more. You was able to hurt him to the body. So shoot that body shots earlier on, because it's going to make Donaire a little bit more concerned and not as confident of throwing those counters. You want to take that away. It's not like there's a big jab there for Inoue. It's not a guy that is known to throw a lot of jabs. So with that being said, you got to watch the left hook. You got to watch the right hand. The right hand is what had the most success in this fight, in the first fight. So you want to slip it. You want to take it away. You want him to be concerned about that counter to the body, or even up top that may be coming from that right cross that Donaire is going to throw. You know what I'm saying? So I think Inoue really shown to be very durable in this fight, in this first fight. And even with him being caught a couple times, he really shown to be durable, And I think he is going to get caught again in this fight. But you got to be smart. Play it smart. You get hurt, tie up, move out of the way, do whatever you got to do. Donaire is very, very powerful. But keep working the jab. At the end of the day, that jab is investment. It's a lot of investing with that jab, especially because the guy you're facing is a lot older than you. You know what I'm saying? He's an older guy. He's not in his actual physical prime, but he is still very big and powerful for the division. So what you want to do is commit to that jab, hitting him up top, committing to the body. And when the later rounds come, you want to be dominant because you have the youth advantage. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to take control of the fight as the fight goes on. You don't want to be going to war with him early, right? In which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, we don't really know what Donaire is going to try to do, because Donaire might come out more aggressive. I don't think he should, but he may come out more aggressive, because what was working for him in the second half of that fight, even though he was dropped, he was doing better in the second half of the fight because he started to get the timing right with the right cross. So with that being said, he may come out more aggressive because he might not want to go the distance. But I think if he were to do that, I think Inoue, who's fresher at that time, might be doing better with the counters. And remember, Inoue is not a slow starter. He's not a slow starter at all. If you've been watching him for a while, he's been dominant as early as the first round. So I think with all of that being said, I think the only difference that I see in this fight on which either fighter can really do is I think both can go to the body well, and both did well going to the body. I think both can do more. I think Donaire needs to work behind the jab a little bit, not lead as much, try to set traps more, okay? Because he's just too easy to hit, especially if your guy a great jab like the way Nicholas Walters did, or Inoue did. You know what I'm saying? I think with Donaire, I think there's a lot more that he can adjust to and change than Inoue. I think Inoue, for the most part, everything he was right. I guess, just do a little bit better getting that timing down and countering those right crosses. That was very successful in the first fight. All right, but I have Inoue winning this one, and I think he's gonna find a way to stop Donaire this time around. I think he's gonna hurt him to the body earlier in this fight, and I think behind that, don't know if he's gonna be able to stop Donaire with a body shot, but I think at some point he's gonna hurt Donaire and then finish him off this time around. All right, I just think that having the experience and both being in the ring together and having such a great fight, I think Inoue is gonna have it better this time around, because I've seen Donaire so many times and a lot of flaws. Like I've seen him against Vic Darchinyan both times. All of these fights that he's been involved in, I see him still have a lot of the same flaws that he had back then. So I just believe that Inoue is going to do better in the rematch, all right, because they shared the space before, and I think he's going to stop him this time around. I think in maybe around a 9th round stoppage for me. All right, so that's my prediction for the fight. Again, I will be here ESPN Plus tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock a.m. I'm thinking about 7 o'clock a.m. I should be going live Eastern tomorrow morning. And again, if you are new, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button if you like the content, share the video as well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.